Just when we thought we were finished with the C10 project, we had one final thing pop up just like a pimple. This bright red toolbox in our freshly rehabbed bed. Just like a zit on your nose, we couldn't stand to let it stay like that, so today we're going to powder coat it to match the rest of the truck. Follow along with the tools we're using by checking the links in the description below. First, we should probably mention this is a needed piece of equipment, as this also doubles as an incognito battery box. We start by popping the old battery out and removing it from the bed. With it out of the truck, you can see this thing has had a little bit of abuse and the weather has really started to take a toll. The chrome hardware is rusting, there's remnants of a sticker in the corner, and some marks from rainwater running down it. To address all of these aforementioned issues, we're going to need to disassemble the box itself and remove the chrome hardware. The hardware is riveted together, so a combination of a drill, angle grinder, and a pry tool work in tandem to bust the old rivets and get this apart. The important thing here is to be patient, as we're essentially restoring this box, so we don't want to add any damage and make more work for ourselves. We apply these same techniques to the rivets located all over the box, freeing up the handle, latches, and locks. It's kind of cool at this point. We can see how faded this has gotten over the past several years, compared to when it was brand new. And it's a chance to take a closer look at the chrome pieces to see their condition as well. Structurally, everything looks pretty sound. This is mostly surface rust and pitting, so our next step is to throw everything in the blast cabinet and start stripping. The chrome hardware comes up clean nearly instantly and gives us some fresh bare metal to work with. We set them aside and start attacking the box itself. Now initially we thought this would go pretty quick. Stripping red paint off of something shouldn't be so bad. However, we quickly learned it wasn't paint, instead it was industrial red powder coat, and it did not come off easily. The blast cabinet was working, but it was very slow going, so we decided to try some other tactics, eventually landing on the SCT and an angle grinder with a flap wheel being the best way forward. With the box finally stripped clean, we can move on to powder coat. In preparation, it's always a good idea to pre-bake your part so it can release any oils that may still be stuck in the metal. So we throw the box in the oven for 20 minutes while we get set up to apply color. Now there's not an exact match to the Porsche Signal Green that the C10's painted with, but we found that this HotCoat Lime Green was close enough for our purposes, and we already coated the air tank in that in a previous video. So we grab a bag of the lime green and the PCS 250 and are ready to go. After 20 minutes, we can pull the box and let it cool down to room temperature, attach our ground, and start coating. The PCS 250 has two power settings, 15 and 25,000 volts. We go with 25 and 8 PSI. After getting halfway done, we flip the box over so we can make sure it's fully covered. You'll notice since we removed the latches, we had to get creative with some safety wire to keep the box closed. So keep that in mind for your unique parts as well. Once we're satisfied with our work, we go over everything with a light to make sure it's properly covered. Happy with everything, we throw it in the booth on bake at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. After 5 minutes, we can check to make sure the powder has started to flow out, which is when it changes appearance from dull to glossy. Once it has flowed out, we can then bake it for an additional 20 minutes before pulling it out to cool. Now to add a little more fit and finish to this, we also hit that formerly chrome hardware with some trim black. And to further tie the box in with the bed, we spray the ends with our new Eastwood Versaliner aerosol to match the rest of the bed liner. The whole back of the truck has now had a once-over, and with the battery box refinished in green, everything is tied in really nicely. So if you want to tackle a project like this, You can get all the tools we used by following the links in the description, or just head over to eastwood.com.